Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 25 disproven myths that people still believe in. I do love a myth, and these are disproven myths, so I mean some of these will probably be a bit wacky. Some will be maybe things that I assumed were real as well, I don't know, but we're going to check this out. Hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon where you can see reactions that I can't post to YouTube. I've just done a movie reaction yesterday, and yeah, there's many other classic movie reactions on there from the past and more to come in the future. But yeah, let's check this out and see some of these myths.
As people, it can be hard to confront new information, especially when it challenges our preconceived notion of the world. Of course, there are reasons that we believe what we do, but those reasons usually aren't what we think they are. In fact, they often say more about us than they do the world. We're stubborn and look for things that confirm our point of view. I'm Mike with List 25, and from the moon landing to blood types, here are 25 disproven myths that people still believe.
What's happening with blood type?
25. Deoxygenated blood is blue. Blood is...
See, I remember hearing this so much when I was younger. I don't really know if I ever thought it was true. I probably thought it was true at a point. But actually, I don't even know. I mean, I feel like I heard this and I probably still believed it. I know it's not like a thing I fully believed, and I wouldn't just get it off the top of my head. But I remember hearing it, and never remember it being disproved or whatever.
It is never blue. It's always a shade of red, possibly one of 50. The only reason it appears blue in veins is because veins tend to be closer to the surface of the skin, and blue wavelengths of light are the only ones that can penetrate to that depth.
Oh.
As for the arteries, you typically can't see them because they're too deep. In textbooks, the veins are colored blue to differentiate them from the arteries. 24. Dogs see black and white.
I used to believe this, and I thought this was still true, honestly.
Nope, they see color. They just see less of it than humans. 23. Camels store water in their humps.
I didn't know that.
They don't carry
Didn't think
water
that's
in their
why.
humps. It's fat.
I don't know what they're for. I didn't ever think that. I never heard that one, to be fair, but I don't know what they're for. He's going to explain, hopefully.
For some reason, lots of people still believe in the whole water thing. 22. The Loch Ness Monster. The guy who took the original photo has repeatedly stated that it was staged, using a toy.
Oh, wow.
21. Sleeping with your fan on kills you. In Asia, lots of people still believe this. It has to do with the belief that the fan will somehow blow the air out of the room. 20.
I mean, I'd never believed that, but I know when I sleep with a fan and it's like on my face, or even if it's moving around, I'll wake up in the morning feeling terrible. I've got asthma, so maybe that doesn't help, but because it's obviously blowing dust around and stuff, like in the summer, people are like, just put a fan on. For me, man, putting a fan on is not fun, because the next day I'll feel shit for the first few hours because of it.
Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot.
Oh, it does.
It does. That's the whole point of a lightning rod. 19. Scientists don't know how bees fly. In the 1930s, some scientists found that fixed-wing flight equations don't work for insects. Although scientists eventually figured out the secret behind insect flight, fast wing flapping that creates vortices, people still think it's a mystery. 18. Right-brained people versus left-brained people.
What? Like right hand and right feet and stuff?
There's no such thing.
Oh, literally having your brain on one side. What the Who believed this? People just think you have an empty space. I thought this just meant you're like either right-handed or left-handed, because obviously it connects the brain. I guess it connects somewhat subconsciously to your limbs, but this is literally what they meant. Jesus.
Although some functions are lateralized more to one side, this has no quantifiable impact on personality or ability. 17. Bats are blind. They do use echolocation, but that doesn't mean they can't see. In fact, they use both. Also, bats aren't bugs, as Miss Wormwood's class would happily tell you.
Who called them bugs?
What if I read it in a clear plastic binder?
No. 16. Cracking your knuckles gives you arthritis.
I love cracking.
It's an old wives' tale. 15. Liars tend to avoid eye contact. This is false. Furthermore, the average person makes for a horrible lie detector. Without training, it's incredibly hard to detect a good liar. Even polygraphs have been proven to be pretty near useless in detecting lies.
14.
You're either extroverted or introverted. Nope, it's a spectrum.
13.
I
The
assume
tongue
so.
tastes...
I feel like there's people that are in between. I mean, I didn't know there was a word for it, or there was a specific thing, but I assumed some people were more extroverted or less and more introverted and all that sort of stuff.
different flavors in different areas. The tongue is actually capable of tasting any flavor on any of its surface.
Damn.
12.
Blood type determines personality. It has no bearing whatsoever, though this belief is still very prevalent in Asia. Look at some Japanese fighting games, like DOA for example. In the character bio, you'll see blood type. So,
I mean, to me, this isn't any worse than star signs and thinking certain star signs lead to your personality and stuff. Some people probably watching this are like, oh my god, how can you not believe that? I mean, I don't actually care. My mum thinks it's true. I'll just sort of laugh. I mean, again, I'm not bothered by it, but I don't really understand how a star formation or whatever it is, the time of year, time of day you're born or whatever, can lead to different things like that. But this seems more reasonable than that to me. But I still think this is a bit silly.
if you've ever wondered why that's in there, well, there you go.
11.
Vikings had horns on their helmets. Not a single piece of evidence has ever pointed to this conclusion, unless you count the Minnesota Vikings helmet as evidence.
Which is a cool idea.
Microwaves can give you cancer. No, they can't. And the reason is fairly simple. They're not ionizing. Only high-frequency UV radiation, X-rays, and gamma rays have enough energy to free electrons from molecules.
Is that why you can only have you're very limited to the amount of X-rays you can have, because they are quite dangerous for the body if done consistently? Because I remember when I got an X-ray for my chest about a year and a half ago, it was like a lot of not preparation, like it wasn't easy to just get it done, and I never really realised why, and then I obviously now understand. Yeah, I don't know if there's a limit to how many you can have, because say you're someone who's just got weak bones and you're constantly breaking your bones, I assume X-rays are just needed, right? So what else can you do?
Worry about the sun, not your microwave. Your cell phone falls into the same category. It doesn't emit ionizing radiation, so don't worry.
9.
Napoleon was short. He actually wasn't that short, even by today's standards. And for his time, he was tall. 5'7" when the average was 5'5".
I'm taller than him, come on. 5'9", baby. I'd be taller than this generation, you'll love to see it.
Just so you know, this was measured using the French inch, which is different from the English inch.
8.
Well, what does that mean?
Einstein failed in school. He didn't
What a stupid myth. Who made this myth up?
even come close to failing. He received 6s in almost every subject, which was the highest you could get in Switzerland at the time.
7.
The Earth is flat.
Oh.
Yes, people actually believe this. There's even a Flat Earth Society.
6.
The moon landings were faked.
See, this one, I never thought it was fake. I was just like, I can never comprehend how they've got to the moon in 1969. And now 55 years later, 55 years later, there's been barely any other attempts. Obviously, there's been a few since. But it's so hard to get there even now. Maybe it's not so hard to get there, but they don't want to risk humans going there now. But then, 55 years ago, they were willing to do it, and then obviously times after that as well. I don't think it was fake. I just can't really comprehend how they've done it. Like, I wouldn't even comprehend it now, although I know they've got stuff onto Mars and stuff like that. It'd be fascinating just to see humans on the moon now. So back in, 1969, I just can't comprehend it, but I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not a conspiracy theorist like that, alright? I'm just questioning it. How is it even possible?
Alright. 1, if they were really fake, the Soviets would have relished in proving to the world how Americans had faked the moon landing. 2, if NASA faked a few moon landings, why would they stop? 3, the technology to fake something of that magnitude just didn't exist in the 1960s.
Fair.
And 4, we left mirrors on the moon so that we could measure the exact distance from Earth using lasers. Awesome. Those mirrors are still there. And if you get yourself a strong enough laser, you can make the measurements as well.
Oh, wow.
It's called a lunar laser ranging experiment.
That's
5.
crazy.
Yellowstone is going to explode. Yes, it's volcanically active. No, it isn't going to erupt anytime soon. Just ask the National Park Service or the U.S. Geological Survey, both of whom have spent some amount of time dispelling this myth.
4.
Vaccines cause autism. The study that led to this belief has been debunked numerous times as being fraudulent. The author Andrew Wakefield even lost his medical license in the UK for manipulating evidence and breaking ethical codes. Put simply, vaccines do not cause autism. Moreover, the fact that some people would rather have their kids be dead than autistic is quite insulting to people who genuinely have autism. Autism is not even necessarily a bad thing. The world is significantly better off thanks to autistic people, many of whom have made significant contributions to society.
3.
Sugar makes kids hyper. This has actually been disproven. Scientists have given children non-sugary sweets, but told their parents there was sugar in them, and parents still thought the children acted more hyper. Nope, kids are just hyper in general, and when they do get sweets, they're usually happy. Also, birthday parties have played a significant role in setting up this false connection in people's heads. Remember, correlation doesn't imply causation.
2.
We only use 10% of our brain. We use all of our brain, just not at the same time. If you're using 100% of your brain simultaneously, it's called a seizure.
1.
Jesus.
If the Earth were even 10 feet closer to the sun, it would be inhospitable. Yes.
I mean, I guess like the Earth's sort of in the perfect distance in every sense, right? But 10 meters can't be that much of a difference, can it? Although maybe in the cosmic world it is. Who knows?
The habitable zone is quite small, but definitely not that small. Without saying much more, the Earth has an elliptical orbit, which means that our exact distance from the sun can be quite variable. Definitely more than 10 feet. So, what's something you believe?
Well, these are some of these myths. Let me know what of these myths you still believe, or whatever it is. Some of these I definitely believe. Like some of the ones at the start, like that was a throwback to my childhood because I was like, God damn, I was told this stuff when I was a kid and I still believed it. And I was looking at my veins when you mentioned the veins being blue. My veins, like they pop up quite a lot and they are very blue. Obviously, he's explained it how it's the case and stuff, but the more you know, right? The more you know. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this reaction. And wait, let's see this. Like, honestly, I can't sleep without my fan. I can't sleep with it, man. It makes my like the dust going in my throat. I just don't like it. The Earth clearly isn't flat. If it was, then cats would have pushed everything off the edge by now. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.